Hello, welcome to the latest episode of the Forever Blues podcast. And as you can probably see, those of you watching, Paul Tait returns refreshed, suitably positive about everything blues.
What are you trying to say? You
absolutely not.
You having a pop at me straight away?
No, I mean Jeff's outside waiting just to coming off the subs bench again. So we'll see.
That's all right. He's bigger than me anyway. He's a bully.
Before we get going, a big thank you to our principal partners, Davisons Law, for all your legal needs. They'll be moving you forward in anything in that respect that you need. So please do give them a gander, look them up, give them a ring if you've got anything legal you need attending to. So Taity, nice little breakaway in the sunshine, even though we've got loads of sunshine over here.
I don't know what you're implying. It wasn't a nice little break. It had to go there for a reason.
Oh, it was work related, was it?
I was only there 4 days. So my son's getting married over there, so I've had to go and sort a few things out for him or for the family.
Oh,
so
nice.
It's not a holiday as such. Yeah, so nice. I don't know what you're implying, that I'm off gallivanting all the time, but I'm not. Yeah, so
didn't bump into even Sunjic in Cyprus then, no?
No, he's on the other side of the island. He's they played a European game. The season doesn't kick off there, I think, till this weekend, I think. Yeah, but they're European games there at the moment.
Okay, nice. But obviously you got back in time for Blues' last match against Bristol City, the first home game of the championship season. 2-2 in the end. Demarai Gray's penalty, 5th minute of stoppage time, salvaged that draw. Strange old game, obviously not as I think most of us expected it to pan out as it did. What was your overall impressions of the 90 minutes, 90 plus stoppage time, obviously, which was very pertinent for Blues?
God, where'd you start? It is from the positivity after the Sheffield United game. When I was on the train going into the ground on Saturday and I seen the team sheet pop up, I was really surprised that that he kept the same starting 11 at home. I thought he'd have gone a bit more attacking, if I'm honest with you. And as I said last week, I think the last podcast, to get the fans on board, 25,000 home fans sitting on their hands most of the time, waiting for something to happen. And I was a bit disappointed in the team selection, if I'm honest with you. I thought Patrick Roberts type player could have come in and we could have been on the front foot. Demarai Gray could have started and we could have gone at it from the very first whistle. Bristol City surprised me. They were a lot better than what I thought. We had a little discussion. We had a little discussion at half time, me and you, didn't we, about the boy Twine, and you said, there's better out there. We are supposedly interested in him. I thought for the first 45 minutes, 50 minutes, he did really, really well against us. I thought everything went through him. He was positive. Their attacking play, him and Ibrahim, was it the boy on the left-hand side for them? They were positive. They were quick. They were aggressive in midfield. And we were slow. We were methodical. And it was like someone's waiting for something to happen. Our passing wasn't great. And we were just really, really stuck in first gear, really. We're not getting out of that first gear. I just didn't think we attacked with purpose, passed with purpose, tackled with purpose. I just thought it was a very limp, boring performance, very similar to a lot of the games I watched last season. I do hear some of the fans saying that, we've changed the style of football, we were going long. I don't even think we were going long on Saturday. I thought we were playing around with it a lot without any purpose. I think we went back to that when, say, Samuel gets the ball, he looks to go forward, then he comes back inside to midfield, then we go back to centre-halves, then we recycle, go back out the other side. And we did exactly the same without going forward. I think the only time we actually got forward with any purpose, we actually scored in the first half with Cochrane got to the byline, put the ball back, Vicente hit the post, it went off the defender. To me, if you're a wide man like Vicente, you've got to get the ball and get forward and try and take people on. He didn't do that once. You think about it. Did he actually get past anyone with the ball in the first half? Did we try it? No, it was such a frustrating performance. And I said to you, Tats, last season, I said, we're going to this season. A lot of supporters aren't happy with how things went last season. You know, I know we finished 10th, but we could have easily finished a lot worse if other teams weren't at the beach coming towards the last few games of the season. And going into this season, it's vitally important that we start off on the front foot, especially at home. I get away. Our away form last season was appalling, and we have rectified that at Sheffield United, at Swansea. We looked decent, we looked compact, looked aggressive. Now at home, it's a different matter. I think you've got to attack and you've got to get the fans on board early doors. After 15 minutes, where I was sat, your fans were disgruntled. There was a lot of shouting going on towards the manager just down below in the main stand. And that's what you don't want to hear after 15 minutes at St Andrews. You want supporters on board, but you've got to give them something to grasp onto. You've got to give them something. You've got to have them players attacking. To me, wow, it was just I was shocked at our performance, if I'm honest with you. It really worried me.
Interesting, you mentioned Scott Twine there, who put Bristol City ahead. Michael Skubala, the manager, afterwards, he hadn't started in the previous two matches, but he said he brought him in because of the way that the Blues play in terms of he said they man mark man to man all over the pitch, and he felt that somebody like him with his movement, he can drop and get on the ball, would cause problems. And the way that Bristol City played, they had to go. They broke very well. Their balls from on the counter attack were very good, and they had that movement, didn't they? They did cause Blues problems. I think it was a combination of both, really. That I thought Bristol City were very impressive, and Blues they just weren't with it as they can be. And I made the point as well that I can't remember a team has come to St Andrews and has got into the box as often and got those box entries and seen the white of the goalkeeper's eyes and got shots away. That's fairly uncharacteristic of Blues at home. So I don't know if they were caught between two stools of trying to mix up their style of play, and they forgot a lot of what they were good at in terms of their organisation, being resilient and not giving much away. I don't know. It was a bit of an odd one, wasn't it?
Yeah, Scott Twine, he run the show as far as I was concerned that first half, and he got his goal, and it's just by being attacking. That's all it is. It's by having a go, not being afraid, not taking risks, having a go. Take someone on when you're in possession of the ball. Do something in that midfield. What can you do different than everyone else is doing with the ball? Take a bit of responsibility. To me, it looked like the players were, I don't know, I couldn't work them out. It was just like they were lackadaisical. They were going through the motions. Is there a disconnection there with the manager now? I'm not sure what he's asking of them. Can they do it? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. When the ball was going forward, it wasn't good quality until August Prisco was jumping around, arms in the air, head in the air, winning the odd header, no one running off him. It was, the first half to me was very, I can't work out what actually happened. It was something that really, really upset me watching it, and I was very, very surprised for the first, I don't know, first 70 odd minutes until we made the change till Jay went up top. And I feel sorry for Jay. He's out on that left. He's not a wide left. He's running his socks off. He'll run and work all day long. Come on, man. I can see, the fans can see that he should be playing there. Get two up top and let's have a go at home. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
And I think it was.
Why not? Why are we worried about Bristol City coming to St Andrews? No disrespect to them. What? We're 25,000 home supporters, 2,000 away supporters, where it was. Why are we bothered? Why don't we just have a go? Why? If we lose the game, we're going to go. Throw my hands up. You know what? We've had a go. We don't want to watch there Saturday. Mm-hmm. Lucky to get a point. It's not for me.
It was interesting, obviously, as you mentioned, for the team was unchanged for the third game in a row. Paik was playing in that as a third midfield or the 10 role, whatever you want to call it. But it was, like you said, at home with Jay Stansfield out onto the left. He's honest as the day is long, but he's more effective centrally, as we know. And it was clear when Solis and Iwata had the ball, especially Solis, no fault of his own. He's uncomfortable receiving and building play. That's not his game. And I thought that
No.
Obviously injury to Max Bird is a blow for Blues, and it was a blow because he was possibly the sort of player that Blues could have done without, or you're bringing Paik a bit deeper to get on the ball. But Bird could have, he can pass between the lines, which we didn't see. He'll pass forward and he'll break the lines as well, which we didn't see going down that middle. And as a result, things got funneled wide again. And like you said, the wide players didn't really get engaged, and it was Cochrane getting in a couple of times. And again, he had another good game that the first equaliser came from. But it was, I don't know, it was very odd. Let's look at a positive. Demarai Gray came on, spoke to him afterwards. He says he's fit, he's strong, he's ready. He wants to start now. And obviously, I'd imagine in the Carabao Cup, Brentford, we're expecting there'll be some sort of rotation, but I'd imagine that Demarai Gray has to start now, wide on the left, because we know what he can bring, and he showed a lot of calm and cool to dispatch that penalty when the heat was on, didn't he?
Well, would you start him against Brentford or start him against Wrexham?
Yeah,
that's the question. That's the answer. So you're going to give him 75 minutes against Brentford, then bang him on the bench again against Wrexham. I personally wouldn't start him against Brentford. I'd start him against Wrexham, and that's our bread and butter. The Brentford game, they'll make changes. You know, I don't think we're going to win that competition. The bread and butter for us is the league, and you've got to pick your starting 11, your best 11 against Wrexham. I think tomorrow is one of them games. You know, I'd even give some of the kids a chance who we've got coming through. I know a few of them have gone out on loan, but you know, back to Jimmy Gray. We spoke about Jimmy last season, and you really like him, and I said I think he can do more for us. I think he can do a lot more with his ability. You know, he flits in and out of games for me too much, and with his experience that he's got in the game, I want to see more from him. And by giving him a run of games, hopefully starting at Wrexham on Friday evening, the manager will see that as well. Yes, it took a lot of pressure to score the penalty. He didn't do too much other than that, I thought, when he come on. You know, we didn't get to the ball line as much. And we don't see that wingers in general in football anymore, do we? Getting to the ball and cutting the ball back. The goals that we have scored, listen, we scored against Bristol City, Cochrane getting to the ball line. We got the cut back against Swansea for Priska to score. Listen, lads, players, just have a go. Take a bit of responsibility. The fans will support you as long as you're having a go and you're trying to do something positive. I could play in that game and do what some of them can do now at my age at 55 by getting the ball and passing it backwards and passing it sideways. My fitness ain't there, but I could still do what some of them are doing. I don't see what they're bringing to the team, some of them, especially in the middle of the park. I don't know. What are you doing different that what a 55-year-old man, ex-player, can't do? What you're doing, you can maybe get about a little bit more, but you're adding nothing to the team. Are you winning your tackles? No. You win your headers? Sometimes. Are you positive going forward? Absolutely not. You're going backwards. Oh, yeah. You're going sideways. Oh, yeah. It's not what the fans want to see. Let's have a go. And we said this last season. You know, I know Chris Davies, his job, it's a pressurised job. You know, he's got to get in that top 8 this season. Whether he's there, I'm not too sure about that. But the way we started against Bristol City, our first, home game in the league, it's not good enough. And I'm not the only one to say that, Tats. There's thousands and thousands of supporters out there who went home Saturday. I got the train home after the game as well, and the disgruntlement was paramount. You could hear everyone talking about it. Right, Birmingham City, we should be tough to beat at home, aggressive in the tackle, and have a go at the other opposition. Don't worry too much. Bristol City come to our place on Saturday. They didn't care about us. They got that ball and they broke at pace and they had to go. And they arguably could have easily won the game. They took their chances. We got lucky.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Manager said afterwards it reminded him of his first home game against Reading in League One, where I think it was Alfie May's.
Why is he even talking about that? Why is he even bringing that up for? He's had a season.
I know. Let me finish. It was the parallels there that they weren't on it that day. They weren't on it this day. Is it an early season thing? Is it just one of those games? Because obviously they've been concentrating on being a bit more obdurate, a bit more aggressive and what have you to get grind results away from home. But maybe, I don't know, in all of that, it's lost what they're good at home and what they need to do at home. And it's as we talk now, it's 3 games into the season and Blues are unbeaten.
I knew you'd come out with something like that.
You love it. Are we all getting? I mean, it's boom or bust, isn't it? I understand what you're saying. Everyone's saying.
We're unbeaten. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, we are unbeaten. Yeah, we are unbeaten. Okay, I'll take that one. I'll take that. But I'm bored, man. I'm bored. Right, I don't care if we get bells, whatever go. I want excitement. I don't want to come away bored. And I am bored.
Yeah,
you bored? Are you bored watching that Saturday? You must be. You come on.
I always take notes. I'm always busy, so I'm always absorbed in the game.
Well, I'm gonna come up and start throwing things at you from now on in the press box, just to wind you up a little bit. So you're watching the same game as me. Yeah, listen, we are unbeaten, and we're in for the long haul. But lads, please just have a go. Come on.
Yeah,
be positive. Let's win that ball. Let's get that ball. Let's get it forward quick. Get Jay up top. You see, when Jay come on, when we made that little change, he went up top. Did you see the fans out?
Yeah,
the atmosphere changed.
I think he closed down.
He went in the channels.
Yeah, he closed down Dicky, didn't he? Straight away. Yeah, he closed him down.
The ball over the top.
I know.
Ball over the top, went in the channel. Jay was on the end of it. August Priska can't do that. He can't run. He's not. He's it's got to be into his chest, into his feet, and lay off and spin.
No,
he can't run into the channels.
And
that's not his fault.
Chris can go behind. I think he can. I think he can.
Do you think so?
Yes, I do.
But I don't know what he. There's another one. I don't know what he.
He obviously has to play as that target man, which he's not comfortable with for me. But he can. But they need to, as we've said before, we want them working as a pair, as tandem, get them closer together. Yeah. Because Blues haven't got that classic number 10. And I'm sorry, people keep making the case for Kanya Fujimoto, but if there was a case to be had, it would have been had last season, and I think it's moving on anyway.
We had a chat last season. Last game of the season, Portsmouth away. Segecic for Portsmouth. I was really, really impressed with him. Right, scored 2 in 3 at the start of this season. Scored at West Ham. I think he scored at Lincoln on the weekend. Really good little player. Someone like that, but fitting, brilliant for us. Always busy, always on the ball, wants the ball. First thing is to go forward. We haven't got that. When Paik plays in there, okay, I can understand away from home where he wants to shore up the midfield a little bit and he's more comfortable there. But at home, you can't play him in there. You can't play Paik in there. We've got to have something else in there, someone in there who can play with it, be a Patrick Roberts or anyone who, when he come on, Patrick Roberts, he didn't do a lot on Saturday. He looks. I was sat right behind him and Chris Davies behind the dugout when he come on, and his whole body language didn't look right to me. I don't know if he's got there's something behind the scenes going between him and the manager. He just didn't look happy. Obviously when you're on the bench, you're not starting. I get it. You want to play, but to me, when you've got that much ability, which he's got, I'd utilise it and I'd work around it until we possibly do get a number 10. I'd make him at home. Get on that ball and go and create and go and make things happen for us and excite, get the fans on board. So important, Tats, that when I played at St Andrews for the club for many years, you get those fans on board because they're brutal if you don't like those fans. And I keep on saying it. Get them on board and they're the best fans to play for.
Yeah, I think Patrick Roberts, like Demarai Gray, who said he wants to start, and I'm sure Patrick Roberts does as well. And there's nothing untoward in the background there. I think we always do look for stuff like that, and if there is any stuff, it becomes obvious in the passage of time. But at the moment, as I said, unbeaten Blues as we speak.
Oh, Tats, man, you killed me. I couldn't play for you. If you were a manager, I couldn't play for you. I couldn't.
I'll be a different.
Honestly,
don't worry about that.
Bring back Barry Fry. Just for a month, just to get everyone off their head and attacking and 8-7.
Let me talk about. We mentioned Alex Crochan, who's had a very good start to the season, and so has James Beadle, who obviously, came in. There's a few murmurings about him last season, but the kid's still learning. He's still growing, but he's been very good this season. And again against Bristol City, he was made some vital stops.
Yeah, he did. He's done really well, hasn't he? You know, and I'm so glad for him that he's rode that storm out, and his character building, what happened to him last season, he's come back and he's took the challenge head on. And, you know, and I'm hoping the fans get on board with him and back him. I know there's a lot of fans. We've all got opinions and all the same. You know, that's football, that's life. But he's done exceptionally well. Great start to the season, you know, and he's made some vital saves, as you said, against Bristol City. To earn us that draw, to keep us unbeaten.
There you go, sir.
As you keep on reminding me.
Yeah.
As you keep on reminding me. Yeah, but he's been brilliant. You know, there's a few chances that Bristol missed. I mean, Talaji's header. I have no idea how he missed that in the second half.
It's crazy, wasn't it? Because
crazy miss.
He just needed to get it on.
Did it go over the bar? Did that go over the bar,
no,
or did he just miss the goal?
He headed it down almost to his side by his feet. And it's like, how have you done that? It's harder to do that. If you just stood there.
He caused a problem, you know. He caused our defence. He caused Christoph Klar a problem with his. I was watching him very close. His movement, his aggression, holding the ball up. He was all right for them. He was. Yeah. He got them out a lot. He did all right for them.
The way they played, they were very mobile. They did move Blues around, as Skabala said afterwards. That was part of their plan. And you know, it would be remiss of us not to actually talk about Don Ballard's goal. That was. I don't think you see anything any better anywhere. For years and years and years.
Best goal arguably the best goal I've ever seen.
Okay, it may have been instinct. It may have been instinct, but he meant it. It was unbelievable.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
A back heel on the volley at pace from that distance. You could try that another, 100,000 times. It probably wouldn't happen. That was just an incredible finish. And he's the top goal scorer, wasn't he, last year in League One? Yeah. He's a goal scorer. And when goal scorers, they try things. And if it comes off, you get applauded. If it don't, you know, at least he's had a go. And just an unbelievable goal. You've got to give him all the credit. He could probably retire tomorrow on that and say no one's ever going to score a goal like this again for Bristol City. It was just the best finish, I've ever seen, really. Yeah. You know, at St Andrews, it was just brilliant, and fair play to him. You know, that I'm just glad he didn't get any more opportunities.
Why was Blues goal disallowed Jhon Solis from the corner? I mean, Marvin Dutch, he's near the keeper. The keeper
he was standing in front of him when this is it. This is modern football.
How does the linesman make that judgment though from where he is? Because the keeper was no one going to get the ball. Absolutely no chance. And then, I think all and then obviously we get a penalty a few moments later. Bristol City say Atkinson headed the ball away. There's Knight's arm goes up, and I think it was Neumann was ended up on the deck, and they clambered all over him. So I don't know. The referee played on, and then a few months later, when that passage of action had finished, actually penalty. I don't know. It was odd again.
It's crazy.
Another odd,
crazy end to the
strange,
crazy end to the game, wasn't it? Just a bizarre end to the game. But you see Duck standing in front of the keeper. You can see why it's given. You know, how could he give it? But he's not.
He was hardly an influence. I don't know. He was hardly an influence.
Yeah, but you've seen it last season loads of times when a player standing.
Yeah, Blues got done for it last season, didn't they? They got done for it last season. Was it last season? I'm pretty sure.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Similar.
I can't remember. Tait.
Yeah. So, and obviously it's League Cup action, Carabao Cup action in midweek, and that gives Blues Tuesday, Friday night fixture at Wrexham. That's not particularly helpful, is it? Let's face it.
No, it's awful for us, isn't it? You know, playing a Premier League team who will make changes, but whichever team they do put out will be decent. You know that with Brentford, they're a very good outfit. You know, you see the results at the weekend, and the performance at the weekend was top notch. I can't see him playing a first team in that competition against us, but if they do, it's going to be very difficult for us, and I'm expecting us to play not a second string, but players on the periphery of the first team, really, because the game on Friday at Wrexham is such a huge game, and you know what you're going to get when you play Phil Parkinson's Wrexham, another Sheffield United S type of team who run and challenge for every ball. You know, I watched them against Cardiff, first game of the season, and you know they got done with a free kick in the last kick of the game, but they were tough team, and you know on the night I think they were the better team and should have come away with 3 points against Cardiff. It's not ideal for us. Tuesday, Friday, the players are going to be, tired from the weekend going into the Brentford game, and that's why I think he'll make changes.
Yeah,
with the huge eye on the game at Wrexham.
Yeah, you'd expect the likes of Fryland, Vasquez, Kanya, Wright, and Robinson, of course, and then, as we mentioned, Marvin Dutch recovered from injury to come off the bench, so he's another option for Blues. Just on Wrexham, they've not won yet this season, so that they'll face unbeaten Blues as we speak now, and they are looking to get players in. They're looking to get a couple of more players in, and Parkinson said he's after like game changers. Now, then they're not easy to find, and you have to spend big if you want game changers, don't you?
I'll harp back onto their performance against Cardiff, where they, the free kick, I thought the keeper should have saved it.
Yeah.
That should have been their first 3 points of the season.
That's an £8 million goalkeeper they've spent money on, by the way, who should have saved that free kick.
He should have saved that,
Anthony Patterson, Middlesbrough.
Is it from Middlesbrough or Sunderland? I'm not sure. Yeah, but it was a shot he should have saved. But Wrexham, listen, it's early days, isn't it? It's early days at the start of the season. But they're a decent outfit. They're at home, and it's going to be another up and at 'em game. Last season we draw 1-1 there when Patrick Roberts equalised straight in the second half. Within a minute. It's a tough place to go. Every championship game is hard. This one, I've played against Phil Parkinson myself. When he was at Reading, and he's a nightmare. He's a nightmare to play against, and his teams are a nightmare to play against. They're very workmanlike. You watch their midfield close down, and we've got to be at it. And I think you'll get the manager Chris Davies will probably go back to something like the Sheffield United type team and set up again for that game. I can't see it changing. I can't see him being more attacking away from home. I think his tried and tested model has worked so far at Swansea and Sheffield United, 2 tough games, and he's done very, very well for him. It's just the home performances, where he's got to look at moving forward. But Wrexham will be, Wrexham, and there's a bit of needle there, isn't there, between, not I'd say the needle between the owners, but I think the TV and the media make more of the link between the fans. Really,
they do.
It's
Hollywood derby, whatever that means.
That's what it is. It's not the fans.
We're not remotely bothered or interested, are we? It's like
no.
It's like what? A couple of other. They've made 2 other signings as well. Ben Whiteman, sort of anchor midfield role from Preston, and Danny Imray, right back, right wing back from Crystal Palace, who was on loan at Albion, but Albion couldn't afford the £5 million, £5.5 million fee plus wages. And so Wrexham, they have spent money. In the last couple of years, and as we know, that the revenue that they get from the documentary, to all intents and purposes, and from abroad, that is giving them that push. But obviously, Kieffer Moore will be up front. I think Josh Windass may be fit to play as well. What sort of problems does Moore pose? Because he's a handful, isn't he? And he's that sort of player that obviously I think Blues will want August Priska to turn into a version of. He's not the same, we know that. He has different skill sets, but he's that sort, isn't he? He's a focal point, a leader up front, and he'll occupy defenders.
He brings people into play. As I when I watched him last week, he scored a great goal at Cardiff, and he holds the ball up very, very well. He occupies he's an old-fashioned centre forward. He occupies the 2 centre halves very well. When the ball goes up to him, 9 times out of 10 it sticks and allows the midfield to bomb forward. And you go back to Danny Imray as well. I know the Albion fans really liked him, and one of my best pals is Palace season ticket holder, and they can't believe that they've let him go. They thought he was on the next one to step up on the right side of their defence for them. They were absolutely gutted that he's gone. And watching him, as I have this season already, he's a very, very good player. He bombs forward. He's aggressive. And he just fits into the Wrexham mould, into the Phil Parkinson mould. of players who like to run, who like to mix it, you know, and don't give you any time on the ball. And when they have got the ball, they try and go forward. I don't think with Wrexham you'll see any tippy-tappy or anything. Yeah, they do try and move the ball quickly forward. And I'm sure that's what they'll try and do against us.
Mentioned there Palace, a fullback from Palace. Bristol City, just to touch on it, their left-back, left-sided player, Rio Cardines, I think, or Cardines, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. 20-year-old gets an opportunity. It's his championship debut. I thought he did very well. Just shows you.
He did do well, didn't he?
There are players there.
It's about clubs. There are players out there. It's about clubs.
There are young players
taking that chance.
Yeah.
Instead of going abroad, instead of going onto the data train and plucking players from whatever league you want to pluck them from, you know nothing about British football. It's I always say it's a risk, isn't it? It's a risk bringing players in from abroad. But to me, there are players in the 21s who are desperate to get out and play and forge themselves a career, and they are out there. You know, let's look at home a little bit more instead of going abroad.
What do Blues need in the window before it shuts? What do you think their requirements are?
Desperately need a creative player, either in the 10 or in midfield. Creativity is huge, and I'm looking. You know what? I wish we could have an out goal scorer, top draw goal scorer. You know, we spent, was it $6.5 million on Priska, 3.5 was it on Vasquez? If we'd have spent 10 million on a top draw centre forward and brought someone out in on loan from a Premier League club, or you know, as an understudy, I would have. To me, you're only as good as your forwards, and if you've got two top forwards who are going to bang in goals for you, you have to win. I always look fortunate to play with Steve Claridge, and you knew what you were going to get from him every week. Work rate, goals. I remember he was our first player for years to score 20 goals, wasn't he? He was frightening to have up front because you just knew what you were going to get. The ball was going to stick with him, and he was going to score. At the moment, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, well, have we got anyone of that ilk who's proven? Who's going to bang in all these goals for us? I would have gone, broke the bank and gone, someone have a look and gone, you know what, let's buy someone proven. We're buying potential, I think. We're buying potential at the moment.
It is difficult though, I guess. You have to.
Of course, everyone's after. Yeah. Everyone's after that.
You have to shell out big bucks
goals
plus wages as well, and it's it is a bit easier said than done. Here's another one. I mean, obviously we know that Chris Davies is a big fan of Ibrahim Osman, but it looks like he's there at Brighton and Hove Albion for keeps by the looks of it, because he's got into the team, and there's obviously Liverpool are after Minter, isn't it? I think it is. Do Blues need more pace across the board in that side? He would bring that in a stroke, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, last season he's when he was on his game, he was unplayable. You know, he's the thing that worries me with him is his final decision making. And I watched him at the weekend as well. He had a really good game. And when he come on, he's very forward thinking. You know, he doesn't go backwards. He does like to attack. But yeah, we could possibly look at that. But I think for me, I think goal scorers. I think if you get a top notch goal scorer in there, someone who's gonna score us 18, 20 goals, I think we're onto a winner. I really do. And you're rightly saying it is hard because every other club is looking and they do cost money. But I think we're buying players up there. I've never heard of them. And it's potential, isn't it? You're taking a risk all the time. There's got to be someone out there who we could have invested in to get us where we need to be. And that's in the top 8 this season, top 6 last season. Whether the manager or whether the club want to go that way, only they will know. But I think to go for anyone else, I think they're going to have to move players on. Tats, I think.
Yeah, I think
the squad is big.
Yeah,
the squad is big, and the transfer window shuts September the 1st, doesn't it? And you can't have all these players at the club on the wage bill and expect to bring in another top draw player.
Yeah, I'd expect 2 or 3 to move out and there to be a bit of juggling as well. And Chris Davies in the week made the point about loans. Obviously, there's only one player in on loan, and he said that He doesn't really like loans because, you know, are they there for Birmingham City? Not really. And I've always railed against getting in too many loan players because you're developing somebody else's player. Unless you've got someone in with a view to buy, that's different. But that is an option that Blues will have to get a couple of loans, maybe, if they can't get permanent targets that they've been after in the deadline. Would you be happy with that? Would you be okay with that? Because obviously it was a bit checkered last season, that the record in the loan market, wasn't it?
If you bring in the right character, the right loanee who wants to play, who wants to do well in his career, then you're onto a winner. If you bring in someone who's coming towards the end of the career, they may have done a lot in their career, but you know they're coming towards the end of their career, and you see this is just another pay packet, or just get a few games here. Then you're onto a loser. It's finding that right player. I've got nothing against loanees coming in. Not a problem, all provided it's not too many. But there's got to be players out there who are desperate to play, who are hungry. And I think that's the thing. You need hunger. You know, players there who want to play for Birmingham City, who want to have a go, who want to better themselves or get a move to Birmingham City or go higher. You know, there's got to be players out there. I mean, the recruitment department have got access to every single player in the world, I think, now, with this data that they've got. It'd be interesting to see what they actually do with it. But to me, if you get a top-notch forward coming in, top drawer, who's going to score goals when that ball does come in the box. I mean, for us at the minute, we're not getting too many balls in the box, getting it wide, get the ball and cutting it back, which is one of my major gripes with how we play. It's even Segecic in a 10 role as well. I like him. He's a little good player. He's a good player. I liked him. You know, he's starting off the season banging form, and someone like that, someone just who can do something different. Who excites. There's no characters in the game anymore, is there? Where are they? What managers are going to take a risk on players? They just don't do it. Everything's so regimental. It's like watching paint dry. All the teams play the same. It's just there's no character. I bet Jack Grealish get him down. Jack, I love playing for us. He's a character. Come on, Jack. Come back to Solly, old Jack. Yeah, be all right, won't he? It's not me going to the Villa on it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
come back. You've left your slipper behind. You need to retrieve.
Yeah, I know. You left your slipper in Dickens Eve.
Okay, Taity, that's thank you very much for your time and your words of wisdom you've imparted there. Very, very kind of you, and also very kind for our partners, our principal partner, Davisons Law, and also the Big Balls Head in Digbeth. I think it looked really good pre and post match there on Saturday out there in the courtyard. So if you can pop in and pay them a visit, you won't regret it. So that's it for this week, and we'll be back anon, and all being well, we'll have plenty more to talk about, and all being well, it will be about Unbeaten Blues still as well. So we can only but hope. Okay, it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from him. Thank you very much, and keep right on.